to Nerdosophical podcast number 2. I'm Brock, aka the Brock Ness Monster.
I'm Casey. I'm still tall.
I'm Tyler. I'm still a ginger.
I'm Brayden. I'm nobody.
And I'm Sam, the best out of the group, if I do say so myself.
The only female.
The only female, that too. Oh, of course. Thank you, Tyler.
Just saying. I don't follow the patriarchy.
Okay, then.
Okay. So last time, we asked you guys, who was your favorite Star Wars character and why? So, we're going to answer this question with our favorite Star Wars characters. And we didn't specify that it had to come from the movies or from the books or from wherever. So, I just got to say that my favorite character has got to be Darth Plagueis. He is amazing. And for those of you who don't know, he is actually the one who taught Emperor Palpatine or Darth Sidious, the super bad guy of the main movies, all of his stuff. So he's like one level more evil or whatever you want to say. He is my absolute favorite, and his life story is amazing. Love the Darth Plagueis book. Read it, you will enjoy it. Great dark stuff.
Actually, just downloaded it on audiobook.
Yeah.
Have you listened to it yet?
Not yet.
I listen to it like almost every day. It's my Bible.
Oh, wow.
It is the Ginger Bible.
It is the Ginger Bible. It tells you just how evil you should be.
And how to steal souls, basically.
Oh yeah.
How to Live Without a Soul 101.
How to Live Without a Soul 101.
Seriously.
I've listened to it at least 3 times already too, so
Oh,
it's
my
great.
count is like at 20.
It's like your Ender's Game.
I've listened to Ender's Game way more than that, but
Oh, yeah? Never mind.
It's one of the books where you like, if you really want to be a Star Wars nerd, get into the expanded universe.
Yes.
I don't have time.
oh yeah.
And
Okay. So who else has a favorite Star Wars character?
Mine would be Plo Koon.
who the heck is that?
Oh my goodness, you don't know? Oh!
The dude with the orange lightsaber and the rebreather mask on his face.
He's
It's like
orange
black
too.
and orange. He's on the Jedi Council.
Oh, yes, thank you, yeah, okay.
Okay. I
He
was
has like a whole episode in the Clone Wars with Ahsoka.
Got it.
He's pretty hardcore.
Yes.
What were you gonna say?
No, I was like, if you don't know who this is, I have to find a picture right now.
No,
'Cause that is like sad.
No, if you explain who they are, then I totally get it. But I don't know characters by their individual. I'm sorry, I just don't know characters by their names.
There's so many.
It's a lot of
There's
names.
so many.
It's okay. My realm is before like the Empire falls. Love that portion. I don't know anyone's names after Luke Skywalker. Like anything in the future is just out the window. Don't know anything.
Oh, there's some really good ones after Luke.
Yeah, and there's the Thrawn trilogy, and there's a couple different takes on what happens after Return of the Jedi. But
Well, my favorite character is good old Salacious Crumb. He has no lines other than that freaky little cackling laugh that he has.
do you want to do it for us?
I can't do it. He's Jabba's little pet.
Oh my gosh, the little belly button worm thing.
Yes. I love him. I think he's just so great. And the fact that he's just, I don't know. I love that scene where it looks like he's jumping up, but you can clearly tell that it's him falling, just reversed.
Yes.
That is my favorite part of that. Or the, oh my gosh, what is that thing? The thing that Luke fights in Jabba's palace.
The Rancor.
The
Rancor.
Rancor Keeper that just starts crying.
You killed my pet.
It's just,
Even though it could clearly eat him alive.
oh yeah, obviously. But it's just, those two characters are just fantastic.
Yeah.
What about you, Brock?
I would have to go with the classic Han Solo.
Okay,
Just
very
the
cool.
rogue smuggler. He's just overly sarcastic, which I enjoy.
Are you kind of excited for like the establishing film for Han Solo?
Oh yeah, the Han Solo Boba Fett movie.
Yeah.
I really hope it's done right. Cause yeah.
See, I'm super
Han
worried
is
about it because
amazing.
I don't know how they're going to be able to get anyone besides like building a time machine and getting the original Horde to play Han Solo.
Yeah. Casting will be very important for sure.
Yeah.
Well, they can probably, what they did for Looper? The one with Bruce
Oh.
Willis and
Yeah, they could
Joseph
change the
Gordon-Levitt?
person's face to kind of look
Yeah,
like him.
because I thought they did a pretty good job on that.
They did.
Well, I guess. I mean, they kind of done that with.
They did it with Tron with Jeff Bridges and was it Clue to make
Them look younger.
to make him look younger, and it actually worked pretty well.
Well, I'm thinking about two movies specifically where, like, one of the characters died and they were still in scenes after their death.
Yes.
Wasn't that the case in
Mockingjay?
Yeah, Mockingjay.
and then Furious 7? Didn't they get his
Yeah,
brother to
Fast
play
and
it?
Yeah.
So I guess it's doable, and you could probably pull it off.
But for a whole film, those
But
were
for a
both
whole
We're gonna have to
film,
recast
it's gonna be
them.
hard.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
can't do it. He's too old.
Yeah.
They'll need someone who can be active. It's gonna be an active movie.
Shia LaBeouf.
Oh my
No.
god. That would be the worst decision.
There will be a
ever.
riot that I will lead.
Oh, I will.
In any Star Wars movie ever.
Oh my goodness.
Perfect.
We will riot Disney Studios.
Just do it.
Yes.
Just
We will do it.
it.
Well, for my favorite Star Wars character, I have to go with Qui-Gon Jinn, just for the sentimentality reasons.
Oh.
When the trailers came out for Phantom Menace,
He cries when he dies. Just throwing that out there.
yeah, I cried. I did when I was
Qui-Gon
a
was the shiz.
6-year-old, 7-year-old. I think it came out in '99. Yeah, and I just remember the funniest memory I had was going to Pizza Hut and I got a Qui-Gon Jinn Star Wars toy.
Yes.
I think it was Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I gotta go with Qui-Gon Jinn and good old Liam Neeson.
Yeah, the Liam
Dude.
Neesons.
Yeah.
I accept that. Yeah.
Can't argue with that.
No.
He's awesome.
No,
Celeste.
I like him. I got a big.
I have a spot in my heart for Qui-Gon Jinn.
I can't say that. I'm
It's about this
ginger.
big.
I don't have a heart, or maybe I don't know.
It's just a
there's
few sizes
there's a
too
place
small.
in the void inside of me that I say this is dedicated to Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
certain section of the black hole
Yes,
inside you.
there's a certain section that say this spot I will reserve for your soul.
Very cool.
There you go.
Okay, so we're primarily going to be talking about Star Wars Episode 7 today. So excited for this movie to be coming out. Been
I think
watching trailers, like backstage things on YouTube, everything else. Love everything that's coming out.
There's so much speculation surrounding it. It's almost unreal. It's not like any other movie I've remembered in recent memory.
Definitely one of the most looked forward to movies.
Well, you've got our parents, their generation. You've got our generation,
And the
who
new
grew up with the
generation.
terrible first, second, and third episode, and then you have the new generation who hopefully will get something better than we did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they will.
I hope.
I hope so. I mean, I remember, granted, probably not as good as some of you guys, but when they announced Star Wars Episode 1 was coming out and how much excitement there was around that,
Oh yeah.
I don't feel necessarily that this excitement that we're feeling now quite compares to that one. I think there's a lot of hesitation going into this because I feel like we've been burned once with that whole atrocity of Episode 2, and Episode 3 kind of started going, well, okay, I can kind of see this
Slowly
again,
redeeming
Yeah.
yourself.
but
You
I don't
were
know.
the chosen one.
you were the chosen one. No, obviously there were still horrible parts about that movie,
But it was better
so much
comparatively.
better than Episode 2. Like,
Episode 2 kind of
Oh.
flopped.
Epic low point.
epic low point. That's why you don't ever watch that.
No,
It doesn't
I
exist.
don't watch it.
No.
Yeah. I like how George Lucas is a creative consultant for this next wave of films, because I think that's where he should be.
Yeah.
He has good story ideas, but he cannot write dialogue.
No.
He can't really direct either.
And I love how, who was saying it recently, that in the original movies, that they always had to push him back saying, no, that's a
Yes.
ridiculous idea, don't do that. And they didn't do that in the second
Yeah.
trilogy, which was just why I think they totally flopped.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of it was he wouldn't let people. I think was a lot more prideful by that point, so he
Mhm.
just thought he knew what to do when really he didn't.
So, story about George Lucas. When they were filming episode number 4, you know the scene where they're down like in the garbage pit?
Yes.
They were filming that, so, Luke, Leia, and Han, they were standing, you know, up to their knees in just filthy water. And it was right after Luke got attacked, so he was standing up, and Lucas called cut, and they could all tell that George Lucas was just having a terrible, terrible, terrible day. So, Mark Hamill walked up to him and was just trying to get him to laugh and saying all these stupid things. And George Lucas looked at him, kicked him in the chest, and pushed him back down into that filthy, dirty water. That is George Lucas for you, right there.
Oh man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited about this new cast that they have. John Boyega and Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver. I think it's gonna be exciting.
And
Andy Serkis.
Yes.
Yeah, Bill Weasley. What's his name? Dom.
What's his first name? Dom
Hall? Or Don Hall?
Yeah, something
Gleason.
like that.
Dom Hall.
Yeah.
Something
He's
I
Bill
don't know
Weasley.
how to say.
You got unknown characters. You got somewhat recognizable, and then you have the classics. You know, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher. So
See, I'm really looking forward to this, and I don't know. I kind of am hoping that the feel of this movie will be reminiscent of the feel that Jurassic World just gave to us, because that movie was very nostalgic, very true to the original Jurassic Park movie. Called back so many things. You could hear some of the same music.
yeah,
And it was very like, oh, this is kind of what Jurassic Park movies were supposed to be.
Yes.
Not technologically perfect or whatever, logical stuff, but it was a good callback and it was a good movie in and of itself. So I'm hoping that this new Episode 7 movie has that same kind of a feel. Lots of callbacks to the original trilogy, lots of good music and whatnot back in this.
It was a good blend of nostalgia with a new story incorporated into it.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I was trying to find information about any information about this, but it's being kept so tight-lipped that the only thing that's really come up is the people that are in it
Mhm.
and the fact that John Williams is doing the music. That's all that's come up.
Well, they've actually released the names of the characters, like
Yeah.
General Hux, I think it is, and
Mhm.
there's Supreme Leader Snoke.
Snoke. I love that name.
But as far as that, I mean, you can't really connect anything. It's just all kind of a bunch of information that's kind of out there that, you know,
Well,
it's
and
very similar to Star Trek Into Darkness, where they had a lot of
Fake leads.
yeah, exactly.
Well, and then there's the fact that Disney came out and said, by the way, the original storyline and universe that had been out there for a long time, that's no longer relevant or even bearing on what we're going to be doing anymore. So even if you had an established character in a timeline that had its own story, that story may not be taking place at all anymore. So you could have a totally new take on an old character.
Ergo, Beth is alive.
Well,
That-
Ben
that
was
is
alive in
alive.
84.
I know,
That's
but
something they
everybody,
decided
at
to
least I'm
use
pretty sure
as
it was you or your brother, Casey. I was talking to you, and you were trying to tell me that he was dead. But no.
No, he's.
I said the Emperor was still alive. He used
Oh,
that
no, I
force
don't
power
know
to
that, yeah.
transport his.
I really
Spirit
kind of
of-
don't think they're going to bring that one
No,
back.
I don't think they will either. It's a little bit too out there.
I could see. I still think it's interesting if you watch the first trailer, or no, the newest trailer. I'm sorry for this film, when Luke is talking about, you know, my father has it. He's talking about, you know, I guess the Force, and he's using a present tense, so it makes you think that maybe the door's open for Darth Vader. Maybe he's.
If they bring frickin' Anakin Skywalker back, I will help you riot Disney.
Oh. See, I think there could be a place for Force Ghosts. I hope
Yeah.
there's not.
I hope if they do, I hope it's not Hayden Christensen.
I think there
I
will
hope they
be.
do like Yoda.
Well, there
or
were
something.
so many people who were so upset when they replaced that in the movies with
Hayden Christensen.
the new Blu-ray versions or whatever that came out, and Hayden Christensen was there instead of the.
I don't know why people blew that out of proportion. Like, it's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
He was a
but
terrible
It was just
actor.
like
He
no
didn't
one
talk,
liked him.
so I guess maybe that's why.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't have a problem with that, like, at all.
But just anytime they change anything, there's always
Yeah.
a small group of nerds that is
What'd you think
super
about
mad
it?
about it. I didn't care. I mean, it made sense because he went good in the end, so he reverted to his former look before he went
That
evil.
bird.
I mean, it
See,
made
this just
sense
reminds
in
me
that
of like the
aspect.
how it should have ended things, and we're like, nope, we can appear however we want because he actually did become a good person at the end of his life. So why shouldn't he be the good person at the end of his life instead of the one just before he slaughtered hundreds of Jedi children?
Mhm.
But whatever.
It's just not that big a deal.
It's not that big of a deal, and I just kind of hope they don't bring in like Force ghosts. Maybe like receiving counsel from the living Force would be a thing there, but
They could
I don't
always
know.
just have voices,
Just
not
have voices.
necessarily.
You saw that in A
Physical
New Hope.
entities.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
when
where-
Luke was
Luke.
piloting. Yeah, Luke.
You would hear
Use
Obi
the
Wan.
Force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't mind that. I don't know. The Force Ghost didn't bother me too much though.
No.
No, I wouldn't be opposed to them in the new movies.
I hope they
As
bring
long as
Yoda
they do them
back.
tastefully.
Yeah, if it's done right.
Yeah.
I think Yoda obviously can do CGI, but I don't know. Qui-Gon Jinn maybe.
The
Force Ghost
Force.
Qui-Gon.
Force Ghost
I'd
Qui-Gon.
be so into
Except
that.
no one is alive anymore that knew Qui-Gon.
That's true.
That's true.
So you're getting wise counsel from someone you
Don't
really don't know.
I'm a Force ghost. Who cares? Just believe whatever I say.
He could introduce himself as Obi-Wan's trainer.
Yeah.
It could be like, oh, I've heard of you from Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Old Ben.
But I don't know. I think in this next movie, there have been a lot of plot speculations of what's going on.
Yes.
But what really do we know? Like,
Nothing.
it's 30 years later because they're trying to make it so that the actors have like real time to age, and it's really falling in line with our own kind of like, oh well, this is actually 30 years after the
Mhm.
original movies came out, so that it'll fit their characters and where they're at. I can see the Empire's still around and like
Which-
still has a force.
I don't understand that.
It's
If-
the First Order. It's actually not the Empire, I think.
Well, it's a version of the
version.
Empire.
Yes.
Yeah,
They continued on.
the opposing forces. Yeah.
And who's took over once Palpatine and Vader were dead?
Well, I
We'll
think
find
that,
out.
I think,
Yeah.
well, we don't know who took out over, but I think personally, and this is all going to be speculation now after this, but they're trying to show that the Emperor and Vader were not the entirety of the Empire. We had Grand Moff Tarkin in the movie, who you saw played a very important role in these battles.
Didn't he die?
He did die
Yeah.
on the first
Yeah.
Death Star.
Explosion.
But there were other Moffs and generals who were in control of other space, and
Mhm.
so this could be them regrouping together saying, hey, you know what, even though our leader's gone, we still have control of a lot of this galaxy. Let's create our own First Order or whatever
Mhm.
it's going to be called, and put to the end this rebellion or resistance or whatever it's now called.
Mhm.
And they've been kind of holding on to a portion of the galaxy for the last 30 years. But it seems like there's been wars, Star Destroyers have fallen down onto desert-like
Yes.
planets, and
Yeah, that's
so
Mhm.
I think it's going to be picking up there. And then, from the trailer, from the first one, I'm getting on a rant here, but
Go ahead.
it was interesting to me when, I assume it's Luke Skywalker because you don't see his face, but he puts his hand up onto R2-D2 and it's a robot hand. I find it interesting that they went with the robot hand idea
Mhm.
instead of just using a normal hand, because in the original movies he was able to have a hand that looks just like his own hand. Even Anakin Skywalker was able to get a hand that looked like his own hand. So in the last 30 years from the time the Empire fell, he has not been able to keep or maintain or whatever the technology needs to keep his hand looking like a normal hand. He's got a little cybernetic hand now.
Because I saw that too, but my little take on that is he's been basically a hobbit and a hermit. Not a hobbit. Wow, a hermit.
Welcome to the Shire.
He's been a hermit for the last 30 years. Like he's been living out in the middle of nowhere,
I think what we know
which
is
has been slightly released, hasn't it? That's
The
been rumored.
biggest speculation on that is that Luke's been in hiding on Tatooine,
Yeah.
and we don't know if he's good or
We don't know
bad.
for how long.
We don't know how long. He's just
Mhm.
been hiding there.
And we don't know why he's been
No.
hiding there, because
Yeah.
I would think he would have been a part of rebuilding the rebellion and the Empire, or not the
And the
Empire,
Jedi Temple.
and the Jedi Temple, and trying to do this. Why did he go into hiding in the first place?
maybe a wanted man. You never know.
For
He did basically destroy 2 major people in the Empire.
And there would be a bounty on his head.
So think about it. If
Boba
Darth Vader nor Emperor Palpatine survived, and people didn't know that Vader was actually the one that overthrew,
It would go. It would
then
land on
it could
Luke.
look
The
really
blame
bad
goes
on
straight
Luke.
to- yeah.
Yeah. So, and I mean, there's a lot of people that know about Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
It's-
But yeah, no, he's been stuck out in the desert for who knows how long.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have the technology he needs, and you know what? Maybe he got all the little skin bits, quote unquote, got like blown away.
It just
Yeah.
eroded
Yeah.
over time.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have like the medical, mechanical attention that he needs.
Wait, did anyone
Yeah.
pay attention to see if that was the same one that got cut off? Was it?
The
Yeah, it
same
was.
thing.
It's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
So
right?
It's definitely Luke then. It's not like someone else.
It
Well,
could be somebody else with
it
the hand
doesn't
cut off.
have
It
to
just
be.
came across.
It
on
really
YouTube.
doesn't have to be. I think most people speculate because when he says
Sure
I have
seems
it,
like
it
it.
just focuses in on him.
Yeah,
R2.
and that's when the hand comes up.
Yeah.
It's a pretty safe bet that it's him, I think.
Yeah.
Given the context.
Let's see, what else do we
Well,
know?
it's not as though J.J. Abrams has ever led anyone astray on any of his other movies before.
Of course not.
Yeah, he does like to do that. But it also makes me wonder if they're gonna have him be married like he was in the EU. So he had kids to reestablish the Jedi Order, to try and get more Jedi.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like they're going with that, but not necessarily that they aren't. There hasn't been enough release to tell one way or the other.
We don't even know if the
This
Jedi Order was ever reestablished.
Yeah.
At this point.
I've heard like stories of it's not Jedi's anymore, it's like Force sensitives. Like it's
Mhm.
not like John Boyega's character might be a Force sensitive and he's escaped, as a stormtrooper because I don't know.
And then that silver stormtrooper is sent after him.
Captain Phasma, I
Yeah,
think.
Chris Batista.
I don't know how you say it.
Yeah.
Sounds something like that though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think what else do we know? I guess
We know Kylo Ren is the major bad guy. Dude with the cross hilt lightsaber.
Yeah.
which I'm actually liking. I really like that.
The Inquisitor.
Yeah.
Inquisitor, which I like him. He looks like he could be a good character and a
Yeah.
good bad guy, but we don't know anything about him other than his name, right?
Pretty
You
much.
don't know his background or anything.
No, because they're changing everything, so
Yeah.
Do we know what Andy Serkis is doing yet?
He's Supreme Leader Snoke, I think.
Is he Snow?
he's someone
Yeah,
high up in the
he's-
Empire.
Is he
Andy
getting
Serkis
actual-
is Supreme Leader Snoke.
Is he
We do know
getting
that.
actual like FaceTime or is he
Yeah.
CGI?
Yeah.
again?
No,
supposedly.
he's a humanoid looking person this
Yeah.
time.
Will we actually see his face?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know for sure,
Yeah.
but
I remember when that first trailer
So we
came
can
out.
assume.
When that first trailer came out, I was convinced that voice was Benedict Cumberbatch. Absolutely convinced. It sounded like him. It sounded like Smaug.
Yeah, there was a definite similarity.
yeah, I remember messaging Brock. We were sitting there watching it, like,
Yeah.
do you think this is Benedict Cumberbatch?
I got so excited.
I was like,
And I had you convinced for a second because I was buying into it.
So I was totally buying into it. Yeah.
I think also I've heard that Princess Leia, or I guess now Queen Leia, is now the new leader of the Resistance.
Wait,
Of the,
Queen Leia?
I think that's what I heard.
I thought
Queen
Princess
of what?
was...
Alderaan is gone.
Yeah.
Well, she's like, I don't know. I've heard her title is like now she's a queen and she leads the Resistance. I could be completely wrong.
might just
We
be
could all be completely
speculation.
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's
also.
speculation because they're trying to make her a Disney princess, and Elsa's really a queen, so she should be Queen Leia now too.
But her outfit, it looks like she's like not a military commander, but like she looks like she is now like the leader of the Resistance.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that she stayed
It's
as an
very
integral
old.
part of the Resistance.
Yeah. I think as far as the original cast is concerned, obviously you're gonna have C-3PO and R2-D2, everyone's favorite astromech droids. But I think that Chewbacca and Han Solo are gonna be the
The crowd
foremost, characters. Because you see shots of them with Daisy Ridley and the Millennium Falcon, and
We're home.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's like
that could be throwing you off.
at the very beginning of Episode 4, how R2-D2 and C-3PO occupied like the first half hour of the movie
Oh my gosh, that
before
was
you really got
awful.
introduced into anyone else of importance. Well, you know Darth Vader and Leia, but not like of
You
that
didn't really know who
movie.
they were, though.
Yeah.
That is the one complaint I have about the prequels, or not the prequels, the
Original
originals,
trilogy.
Yeah.
is that 30 minutes at the very beginning, and it happens again in the
Episode 6.
sixth, yeah. And
Where they're in
episode
Jabba's
six.
palace.
Yeah.
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 And it's just like a long introduction. You're just like, okay, you didn't have to necessarily take that much time setting this up.
Seriously.
Yeah, we tried getting one of our friends to watch episode 4, and it was the desert part in the beginning of A
She
New
gave
Hope,
up.
and we're like, we promise it gets better from here.
Yeah. But I don't know, it seems like they have a lot to cover in this one movie. They have 30 years of history that they're going to have to deliver to us either in flashbacks or exposition or something just to get us caught up to where we currently are.
I really hope it's a 3-hour movie.
We
Oh.
really need
Hours.
to know all of it, though.
We don't need to know
Do we
every
actually need to know?
detail,
On
but
June
you do
27th.
need to know where, like, there's books coming out this fall. We'll
Yes.
get to those. But,
Yeah.
you know, there are things that you need to know. Like, how do you establish where Harrison Ford has been for the last 30 years? How do you establish where Luke Skywalker's been? Where has Leia been? Where are these new characters coming from? There's a lot of establishing that they have to do. How much time do they have to do that?
The one question that I want answered, other than all those, was who the heck had the Millennium Falcon for the last 30 years? Do you think it was
Lando.
Lando?
It could have been
Possibly,
Lando.
yeah.
He was like flying it during the final battle.
Yeah.
He did own it before Han.
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't he lose it to
Han
Han?
won. Yeah, Han won it in the.
Card game.
Yeah.
Sabacc tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Sabacc.
Yeah.
Just
Love
funny
Sabacc.
because Lando's kind of known for cheating at those, and he still got beat.
He rips off the crew in Rebels
Yeah.
during a Sabacc game.
Is
Yeah.
the Rebels TV show going to be like in the
Yeah, it's
timeline of
established
it is established
canon.
Yeah, it's
canon?
canon. Yeah.
Okay, so we definitely do know that like there are many Inquisitors and like Sith, quote unquote, who will be in this next section of timeline that Disney's establishing then.
Yes.
So it wasn't just Rule of Two, Darth Bane kind of established. It was
That went away.
that went away, and there's a lot of these kind of people out there.
Yeah, that kind of ended with Plagueis,
Yeah.
because
Sidious
with him,
changed it.
Sidious had an apprentice. He had like 3.
Yeah.
And
Who were his
just-
3?
He had Maul, Tyrannus, and then Vader. And that whole time, all of them were training other people too.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Other than
all of the
Maul.
other than
Yeah,
Maul.
Maul
Maul did
never
never have
had any.
anyone, but I don't necessarily
I
think
wonder why.
he kind of got cut in half, and then he was saved by fan uproar and
That he
Oh.
was kind of confined to stay on certain
Outside.
places. Like
certain
he had to
places
stay
and certain
outside.
buildings, and
Yeah.
he did
Yeah.
not necessarily
He was an
have
assassin.
the friendliest of visages, so he couldn't go take a role like a senator as Palpatine had done, and he couldn't be a banker like Plagueis was. He couldn't fit into normal society. He was just a Sith.
Yeah.
But he was freaking awesome at it.
Oh,
He's
he
great.
was so good at it.
I love that fight, the fight scene that he has with Qui-Gon Jinn.
Oh,
Still the best fight scene of all the movies.
Yeah, it's the best choreographed. It's really, it really is.
Probably because he does all his own stunts.
So,
Yeah, it's Ray Park's.
Well, it actually looks
genius.
natural because if you watch episode 3, you have the fight scene between Anakin and Obi-Wan on
Oh my
Mustafar.
gosh.
And
It's
half
like
of it is so
green
superfluous.
screened out. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it looks like they're just trying too hard, and yeah, just didn't resonate well with me at least.
I felt like the fight scene with Qui-Gon Jinn and Darth Maul was definitely more martial arts based, and then as it went on, it became much more about, oh well, we actually have the Force, so let's do all these 50 feet jumps and spins and flips and kicks and get it into a parody of Japanese fighting style like we see in all the movies of like, here, let me float for 3 seconds before I hit you. And so I think we need to go back to like an actual martial arts style rather than let me just, force myself everywhere.
Yeah,
I
if you
can
actually,
see- Sorry, go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say, if you actually watch once Qui-Gon's killed and Obi-Wan breaks out of that thing that's holding him in. I don't even know what it's called.
Force shield.
The Force shield, and starts attacking Darth Maul. It actually looks. I mean, you can feel the intensity. It's crazy. Maybe it's just me, but it's really well choreographed.
Well, I think J.J. Abrams kind of saw that too, because I've watched a lot of the Star Wars battles, and he's commented on a couple of them, like, "Hey, you guys made an awesome video here. I hope mine stands up to this."
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So hopefully he kind of took notes from the fans and from that one fight itself.
Well, I think you need a good blend of both, which I think you get in the Clone Wars TV show really well.
Yeah.
There's a few fight scenes in there that are just fantastic. The one between between Tyrannus and Obi-Wan and Anakin during like the 4th or 5th season.
Is that the one where they're trying to break or save that one guy who had been captured since like the clones had been created?
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
They
that
have
was a pretty
street
good
fights.
fight.
And then the one at the very end between Maul and Sidious
Oh,
and
I loved that fight.
Xavier. What's his brother's name?
Savage?
Yes.
Savage, Savage Opress.
Savage Opress. Yeah, that fight is ridiculously awesome.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite fight in all things Star Wars. It's amazing.
What other speculation is surrounding the Force Awakens? Any other?
Well, we know the Emperor or the Empire was dealt some pretty massive blows, as it shows like a giant destroyer just embedded into Jakku in the trailer, like it's just left there. So
You
you
think
think
there's-
something crazy
So
had to
that is
happen for them to
Jakku,
just
not
abandon.
Tatooine?
No,
Yeah, it's
people
Jakku.
thought it was Tatooine, but yeah, they later said it was Jakku.
I think it's been confirmed officially by Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, J.J. Abrams came out and said, "No, this is Jakku." Not
Yeah, one of the few things he's disclosed. I wonder if I was just thinking about this, it just popped in my head. Wonder if there's gonna be any other super weapons, because you have the Death Star in the original trilogy. You have to think that there's gonna be something in the works, like because even the
Something
Clone
else.
Wars you see in Episode 2, where the Geonosians giving Darth Tyrannus the plans for the Death Star, and that's already in the works that early. So
Let's just hope that they don't have the button or little hole. But if you shoot that hole, the
It
whole
will
thing
blow
explodes.
Hopefully they
think
learned
after
from
the
that.
first time they would have learned it, but no, they didn't quite finish the second one. so
Third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm. Third time's a charm.
I think the second time they actually had to go into the infrastructure and
Yeah, they
destroy it. They didn't have where they could just go on the surface and shoot into that little.
Exhaust.
But it was
port.
still very poorly. I mean,
Well,
it's still
poorly designed.
But it wasn't finished.
I hope
It
the
might
guys
have been
that
better had it been done.
Yeah,
I hope
that's
that the guys
true.
that designed that were on it when it exploded.
But what weapon?
Maybe
That
most
death would have been
likely-
better than the death they would have gotten by the hands of the Empire.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, in the books, kind of around this timeline, not really, it's before, but they have the Galaxy Gun, which is this giant gun that blows up planets from wherever he wants to shoot,
Mhm.
all from his home planet of Dromut Kos.
But this is now unestablished.
Yes,
chronicle.
this is completely
Is this
fake
not
now.
canon?
Yes.
What is that one ship that Grievous had that just stunned everything out in
Oh, yeah.
space? That was a pretty good ship, but I don't know.
Yeah, there
There's
was stuff
probably
like that all throughout
You do
the
not
Clone
speak
Wars.
that name, General Grievous.
You don't like General Grievous? He was my favorite
Yeah,
in the
Grievous
Clone
is
Wars
awesome.
episodes. He was so fun.
Yeah, before Mace Windu weakened him, he was
Weakened him.
crazy awesome.
Yeah.
Just taking on like 5-6 Jedi at one time.
That's what happens
Yeah,
when you have
that's
multiple
ridiculous.
arms.
Plo Koon was like the only one to be able to survive him. It's crazy stuff.
Yeah, well, and the comics, that's what I was going to get into. I've been reading all the comic series. They have a Star Wars and a Vader one that's still ongoing, and then they had a mini series of Leia and Obi-Wan, and they've all been pretty awesome. And they're kind of reestablishing the stories that took place in between the old movies. Like it starts out after Episode 4 and what the rebellion's doing after the they blew up the Death Star. It shows them going to different planets where the Empire's established, like military outposts and weapons manufacturing places, and Han and them will sneak in there and take everyone out and like blow the place up and stuff. It's been good stories, well written. I mean, Marvel's doing them all, so they've got a good team behind them. And I have them all, so if anyone is interested in reading them at any
I'm
point,
for sure interested.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll give them to you.
Well, we have a few minutes left, at least talking about this topic. Sam, I know you are very musically inclined. What do you think? What do you speculate about the new soundtrack?
There hasn't really been a lot released because they're all keeping tight lips, unfortunately. But we do know that John Williams will be back, which is good for every Star Wars fan, or every person on this earth, ever.
Anyone who likes music.
Because again, if John Williams didn't write the music for this, there would be mobs at Disney Studios, just mobs.
Unfortunately, I think there's still gonna be mobs. 'Cause somehow, some way, someone will be disappointed.
Oh, someone will be disappointed. That's all. It always happens.
Well, there's just so much hype about this. I don't like this has been a sustained hype for like over a year that people have just been building up to this thing. And it's like there's so much expectation on Disney and like so much skepticism. Like I don't know how they're going to be able to do this. But Disney did the Avengers. They've had a lot of rock star movies in the last couple of years, and Disney's not stupid. So I think that they can pull it off, but I want to stay hesitant and like gotta go in with low expectations so I can be pleasantly surprised and be able to enjoy the movie instead of like, actually I didn't quite like that. So
if you listen to the most recent trailer, it's actually interesting because the music or the score in the background is actually slightly different, and someone else actually commented on it. So I think we actually do have a little bit of insight.
It's a little bit different, but a lot of the classic things are coming back. Like they'll have, they'll probably have Vader's theme. They'll have the Force theme. They'll have
new themes.
Yeah, and they'll have a bunch of new ones, but they'll bring a lot of the old ones back. Like probably Leia's theme and Luke, Han and Leia. And they'll have a lot of those back, but it'll be just like Jurassic World. Thank you. I can remember which was the new one. Jurassic World, where it had some of the old themes, but it also brought in some new exciting music.
They really need one on par with Duel of the Fates. If they can, I mean, that's the best, arguably.
Duel of the Fates.
Well, next to the classic
Force themes.
Yeah.
Which fits so well with what was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing that I thought was really interesting that we discussed earlier, I don't know if it was on the podcast or not, but the fact that before they even filmed the fourth movie, that George Lucas wanted to use a bunch of classical music, and John Williams was like, no, give me the songs that you're thinking of using, let me write you something new, and then you can decide.
yeah.
Thank goodness for John Williams.
Oh, I know, right? Thank
Well,
goodness for John Williams.
I feel like he's just had such a huge impact on soundtracks in general that it's like he's an icon for the whole industry.
Oh, he really, when he dies, I will cry.
Yeah.
I watched an interview that Star Wars YouTube channel had posted. I think it was last summer, and he doesn't want to know any of the plot. He doesn't want to know anything. He just is going to create the score, and however they want to use it, I think is which I think is amazing. I would want it to be the other way. I couldn't do it that way. But.
Yeah. No, but the music that he writes is just. I think it will be the songs that are remembered from our general time. Because like you have the Baroque period that has all of those. You have the classical period, the Romantic period, the Impressionistic period, and then you have this period. I think a lot of John Williams' music will be the ones that are remembered for this general music period, which I don't think there's any greater honor than that. Personally.
We have Jaws, you have Indiana Jones, Star Wars,
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
So many.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the music more than anything else.
Yeah. It'll definitely be one of those albums I pre-order.
Oh yeah.
the music's always good, no
Yeah.
matter what the rest of the movie is like.
Yeah.
You just see John Williams. Okay.
Okay, done.
Cool.
No problem. $20 for 3 songs. Okay.
I think Hans Zimmer's probably he's up there too,
No.
but he's not. Well, let me
I
finish.
love Hans Zimmer.
He's
Mixed opinions.
he's second, in my opinion, as far as I don't know, just because the Batman.
Inception.
Yeah, I forgot about
And
that.
Inception, I love
Inception is
Inception.
amazing.
Inception's still one of my favorite.
I liked the music writer from Lost.
Oh, that one was good.
Yeah, who loves that?
I'm not sure.
I don't know anyone's names from Hollywood. That's not my forte. So someone else needs to figure that out.
To the internet.
But I don't know. There's just a lot of exciting things coming out on the Star Wars front. Like upcoming right now, there is the Star Wars Battlefront game,
Oh wow.
which I've seen some video plays of that, and it just looks beautiful.
It is. There's no wonder it's taken this long to release it. I mean, the gameplay looks amazing. Probably the best graphics I've ever seen. I'm not the biggest video game buff, but it's.
We need your brother on for that.
I'm just so excited for it because I have a lot of nostalgia for some of those Star Wars games growing up.
Oh,
playing
yeah.
those games. Battlefront 2, I still every once in a while break out the PS2 and
Yeah.
play it. It's just such a good, fun game that I'm kind of excited for this new one to come out. Graphics are beautiful. I'm thinking I probably have to buy myself a new console just so I can play it, but I don't have money. So
Or you could always
Yeah.
come here.
you're gonna have it. I'm sure I'm gonna just come over here and play
Brock,
with you
when,
guys.
yeah, when you guys get Battlefront, we're gonna be pretty much living here.
I will sleep on your couch as he plays Battlefront.
Woo! Sorry.
This guy,
Okay.
I know this composer. I can't ever say his name.
Oh, Michael Giacchino.
Yes. He's done basically
What?
Huh?
anything. It's like Giacchino. It's Italian. Some
Yeah,
weird
it's like
Italian name. I
Giacchino
can't
or
say.
something like that.
Yeah.
Giacchino?
Giacchino. Giacchino.
You'd probably be the best at pronouncing that, Tyler.
Giacchino. I'm not Italian.
I'm not Italian either, but
It's close to
somewhat
Spanish.
Yeah, that's the guy from he wrote the
But he's
Giacchino?
done
soundtrack for Lost.
he's done some pretty amazing stuff. Basically anything Abrams has been involved in, as well as multiple Pixar movies,
Oh,
including
Pixar
The
movies are
Incredibles
so good.
and
We did The Incredibles?
Ratatouille.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. He's
I
done
love
a
the
lot
song
of
from Ratatouille.
he's done a lot of stuff.
But getting back to Battlefront, I'm super excited. I don't even have a PS4 and I'm super excited.
Yeah. If you want to go out and buy a PS4, that's fine. But just remember, you just dropped over $100 on a Nintendo 64.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
Nostalgia.
I'll be good for a little while. We'll be good for a little while.
But I don't know. Disney, I think, has a corner on the movie market right now. They've got Marvel movies coming out. They've got Star Wars movies coming out. They're making big bucks on all
Pixar
of this
movies.
right now.
Well,
Pixar movies.
Don't forget they also own part of ESPN, or they have the rights to. I don't know.
And yet,
It's hard to
they
keep
still
track of
raise their
everything,
prices to Disneyland.
I know.
They still increase their
People
tickets.
pay it.
All about the money.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm excited because I really hope they're gonna just amp up. Was it Tomorrowland,
Something like that.
Disneyland, or Star Tours and the Star Trader? They could make it. They could turn Tomorrowland into Star Wars Land.
Yes.
They really
I would be
could.
okay with that.
Yeah, and I think they might. They could
I hope they do. I
keep
hope
Space
that
Mountain.
But yeah, there's a few
Okay.
attractions that are still pretty good.
Star
Yeah.
Tours.
They need way more Star Wars presence at Disneyland.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and I
They're
think
working on it.
Yeah,
I can
I'm sure
definitely
they
see
are.
it.
The hype's there. They'd be crazy not to try to make money off of
Yeah.
it in
Yeah.
every way possible.
Well, I went to Disneyland like maybe a month or two after they bought Star Wars,
Mm-hmm.
and they were already selling Star Wars stuff, so it's on its way.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a little. Yeah, I have a. You know how they have the little Disney pins?
Yep.
I have a pin of it's little Leia, Minnie, and Luke, and like a little Luke Mickey, and it says here a little short for Stormtrooper, aren't you? And I'm just like,
Yeah.
yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, my brother, he would always get one of those stuffed, not stuffed animals, but like collectible Star Wars, like, I don't know, plush dolls or something. Like, no, they're actually really cool. Like I think he's got all of them. But
See, the toy that we all need to get is that little roller robot that is just like won every fan over.
Oh, Casey and I were talking about this earlier, and I was like, we need to get one of those little Zumba vacuums. Roomba, not Zumba. Wow. Roomba vacuums. Shut up. The little Roomba vacuums, and put on it like a little R2D2 or that little roller droid, just so it rolls around the house and vacuums everything up.
yeah,
You wouldn't be able to get under the couch.
Yeah, it doesn't
On
matter.
Amazon.
Yeah.
You can
How
Like
much is it?
$160.
It's how much?
It's like $600.
Oh,
Let me
there you
look.
go. I was
The
wrong.
little Roomba vacuums are expensive.
Yeah, those are $300-400.
Yeah.
It'd be fun just to put
It
a
would
little
be.
R2D2 on top of it and let it roll around for a little bit.
It's my R2D2, you know, have it so it like can whistle every once in a while when it bumps into things.
Wow! Wow!
I
That
can't
would
do
be a
it.
challenge.
Oh, that'd be pretty great.
Oh
Brock,
my gosh.
you're on it.
Oh, that's it.
What is it called? Is it IG? No, that's the Bounty Hunter. IG-88.
Yeah, IG-88's an assassin droid.
Yeah, that's not it.
Well, I think that about wraps up
The Force Awakens.
our discussion about The Force Awakens. Does anybody else have anything else they want to add before we?
It's $600.
Ouch.
Have your own B-88 droid, fully working.
So it'd be what, $120 a person?
Oh,
No, it's
so-
not.
Nope.
Nope.
Not happening.
But then you have to learn how to program it, which is
A
beyond
challenge in
even
and
my
of itself.
computer knowledge.
Yeah.
You know someone has one out there.
Oh yeah, I'm sure people
I'm
have
sure
already
a
bought
lot
it.
of people have it.
Yeah,
Or
I'm
just
sure.
made their own from electronics parts.
Yeah.
I'll get the
What you were
dancing
doing, it
group
wouldn't be
first.
that hard.
Just throw
I'll
stuff
just
in
get the
all
dancing group
stuff.
first.
Yeah.
Dancing group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little more feasible.
Yes.
It's $20.
Yeah, there you
Much
go. It's a lot
more.
more people.
Yes.
Well, thank you all for listening to this week's episode. Hope you've had a good time listening to it. Leading into our next episode, we have a question for you, and that is, which side of the Marvel Civil War would you be on, and why? Would you be on the side of Captain America or Tony Stark?
Be sure to like our pages, follow us on Twitter.
At Nerdosophical. And we also have a blog page, but I don't know the web address for that.
Nerdosophical at .wordpress.com.
Make sure you answer our question on any of those listed websites.
And this will also be up on YouTube, right?
Yes.
So you can just comment
Comment
right on
there.
that.
Yeah, we appreciate all feedback and
Let us know
forward-
how we're doing. Well, with that, thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
See ya.